While that last video rendered, I was sitting here thinking of all the things I could do because I've typically just been working with one layer and now we have two, and the choices start exploding. I don't want to overload your head right now, so I'm going to do an everything layer, Shift, Option, Command, N, then E, in order to merge these onto one another. And now, in order to interact with what's below, we can change the blending mode of this layer. And if you run through these, and I'm holding down Shift and the plus sign to move forward, you start seeing the different variations, the different varieties. You know, in some are, seriously? But it happens. And as you move through, you may see something you like. You may not. You know, it just all depends. But I'm going to go back to, that's a little intense up there. Just go back to multiply, then hit Command T. Command T lets us, it gives us the free transform tool here, and trying to think and work at the same time. So now if I hit return, what does that look like? What's the before and after? You know, is this better or worse? What else can we do to this? Let's say we like that. Let's go ahead, and because this is a blend mode, I need to make a new everything layer. I'm going to turn it into a smart object and take it into Camera Raw. Now I went through that rather quickly, and I wonder if you realized what happened. So right click here and convert to smart object. I'm going to make a video about shortcuts. I'll have a quest for you on Monday, I promise. So you can have these same shortcuts. And then under filter, Camera Raw's here. Your Camera Raw shortcut's different than mine. Yours is just Shift Command A, I think. Yeah. And I'll explain why I changed that. Okay, once we get into Camera Raw, now we can play around with things. We've got all of these different channels up here, lots of things to do. I don't go too far at the beginning. I try to just enhance a little bit, trying to get, what are the details we can pull out? What is interesting? You know, what happens when we play with these in one direction or another? And, you know, seasoning to taste. And then are there any colors here that really offend you? This is kind of dark here, but what happens if these shift to the yellow a little bit? What happens if they shift to the blue? You know, is there something you like in here? And let's just, that's different. That's not something I would ordinarily choose. There's P to see where we started, and P to see where we are right now. Now, combinations of moving things around, and hey, you can even take this, jump this layer, Command J, there we go, and then drag this up on top of the stack, and who says we can't rotate this? And maybe in the opposite direction. What happens? What happens with the interaction when we start running through blend modes? And why is that not moving? Oh, because I must have hit a shortcut here. You need to be on the move tool up here, and then we can run through. Oh, and this is already multiplied because I duplicated that layer. I jumped it. So it assumed that same blend mode. So be aware of those things. You know, I get caught too, just like everybody else. And who knows, maybe that works for you. I don't know. You know, make a new layer. Maybe take this one through Camera Raw again. You know, right click, make it a Camera Raw layer. And hey, what can we do here? You're on your own. See what you can come up with. We have a lot of undifferentiated colors here. You know, with the circles, I think we can do things to accentuate that. I'm going to see what I can do off screen. You have some fun with this. Just experiment. Not everything's going to work. I trash layers all the time. I throw things away and start over. You know, not from scratch. I'm just going to click OK. not from scratch, I will obviously save these bottommost layers and then, start again. So have some fun with this. See what you can come up with. Blend modes, camera raw, these are your friends. There are other things you can do, and we'll talk about that.